Alright, so Nerg is getting a nerf. Nerg is getting 3 points increase on its cost, making it 20. And it is getting also a cap on the amount of damage that it does, which is 12. Now, does this kill the deck? Personally speaking, it hurts it a lot, and I cannot put it at the S tier mark. I think that the deck is hurt a lot, but is it dead? No. I think it will still be able to recover, and what we'll be seeing is a more high defense type of Nerg, and it's probably going to be more black Nerg, because I think black Nerg is, with a pure black Nerg, you can put high defense monsters that cost quite a bit, or we might see a new hybrid of green black. I think we're gonna see it on the area where Wesker is right now. But yeah, that's what I think of. That's what I'm seeing. But the patch is gonna happen in a few days. I don't know if these predictions are gonna be right, but here's also what I think are gonna be the top tier lists for all the way up to B tier. I'm gonna put the rest. So I'm gonna put the rest of the tier list on the description. I'm just gonna read off, or just say the ones that I think are going to be either S tier, A tier, or B tier. So for the S tier, I think Hadoken Ryu is going to be the deck. I think Ryu just does a lot of damage, can take a lot of monsters out. It can also deal burn, and there's just like the legendaries are also really good. So I think Ryu is going to be the next one that is on the S tier. Now, for another one that I put as A plus tier, these are the decks that are doing really well right now, but it might change, so we might see them less. But I think Wesker Dark Destruction version, I think that one is pretty good. It runs high defense, high HP monsters, and it just uses cards to destroy your opponent's cards, and its hero power can also destroy different monsters. It's not as high of a cost to be able to use the ability, so I also think that also plays a part. And it just has a lot of high health monsters with high attack. Rathalos with Wrath Awoken, I think that might still be really good. I think it has a good matchup against Ryu, but I think it just falls really weak against Morrigan with Darkness Illusion. You can buff your unit as much as you want, but if it gets stunned, you can't really move forward, so it might fall victim to that, which might make Rathalos just an A tier or maybe a B tier. The next tier, which is just a solid A tier, we are probably going to see Denjin Renki Ryu. I think the ability to actually increase the amount of damage that you do by 2 is pretty nutty, pretty broken. You'll be able to deal burn damage with a +2 add-on to it. I think in the long run, Renki Ryu will be able to outpace a lot of players. We have Chun Li, Kikosho. Being able to give your team shields will probably help you against the Ryu matchup. It's probably its biggest weakness. Will fall between Morrigan. In my A tier, I am also putting Nerg with Spike Launch, because I think it's gonna do what Wesker does. Be able to bring out big monsters with high defense, and just start out, basically start building walls and start taking out, using Spike Launch to take out one big minion or 2. They have still access to a lot of destroying cards, and that might just change the pace of the game. So I don't think it's going to be dead. I don't think it's going to be below an A tier, but I may be wrong. It might fall under B tier, or we might not even see it at all. Or it could still be S tier. I do not know. Morrigan. I think Morrigan is a solid A tier because it has such solid matchup against everything that isn't Nerg or anything that isn't Ryu. It's able to destroy with Darkness Illusion, and it's able to reset attack with stun, with Halt, and that puts it with a very big advantage against a lot of different decks. Now those are actually my A tiers, and my B tiers would be, so I'm going to start it with a B+, because it's an honorable mention that YawnLi or Chun Li with Yawn is one of those decks that I think is very good, and it's a very good matchup against Ryu. I think it can keep up a pace with when it's fighting against Ryu, so I think it will do well. I do not know where I'm going to put it. I don't know how often I'll encounter it, but I am actually really curious on how it's doing, or how it will do. The decks that I'm putting at B tier, there's only 2 of them, and those 2 are Dante with Double Trigger. I think Dante with Double Trigger is really decent, and I think Dante with Double Trigger can get stuff done. It's able to set up, Dante is able to set up a 10-second barrier where it doesn't have to worry about damage, while still doing things like stunning, and is able to do the Morrigan setup and Wesker Uroboros. I think Wesker Uroboros is a solid B rank. I just think that a lot of other decks probably outpace it because Uroboros is a high cost, and if players know how to play around it, it will start losing momentum pretty fast. That's actually my thoughts on what the meta is probably going to be afterwards. I'll just post the whole description right there, and I'll probably post after a week of seeing the meta play out, what the current meta, my thoughts on the current meta, and my thoughts on the most common decks that I see on. Please look at the description if you want to see my whole list, if it's what falls under what. I think it's from S tier all the way to F tier, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I will be posting again soon.
Learn your place. You think you can stand against a god? Think you can stand against a god? So, you're ready to play. Your struggles are futile. You think you can stand against a god? Your struggles are futile.
Your interference. Preparations complete.